So I'm using fennel in this case without the fronds. So fennel is a little root vegetable that's growing underneath the ground. Up top are these beautiful large fronds of green. We can use these in a number of different ways, but one of my favorites is a very simple maceration of it, meaning breaking down with a little bit of salt and vinegar and oil. In this case, not vinegar, but an acid of lemon. So I'm going to cut these in half from top to bottom. I've already kind of cleaned them up. And then we're going to take a smaller knife and just decore them. So that center core is just a little bit tougher than I want. There we go. I'm calling it a slaw, but it doesn't have any mayonnaise in it. It's really good. We're going to go against the grain. Everything has a grain, not everything. I have a grain, various grains of mussels, I guess. This grain is going top to bottom. I want to cut against it, and that's because I don't want the grain to make it a little tougher than I want. So I'm just cutting quite thin. I'm not even going to be cooking this per se, but the lemon juice and the olive oil will cook it. You could do this with a mandolin. You could do it with a slicer. I find a sharp knife is going to get you pretty much the same result. Okay, so we're going to take those and we're going to put them in a little bowl. And we're really going to simply just cut some onion and some parsley and really dress those. I've got these nice green onions, scallions. So I'm going to take this, a little bit of a bias cut on them, not anything too profound. When we get near the base, make sure that you're getting all the way to the end, because the white of the onion is actually, just like a leek, is really the best part. Okay, so we're going to put those over. I've got some salt here. This is Malden salt, and this is kosher salt. I'm going to use the Malden just because in this case I just want a nice finishing salt. So I've got a fair bit of salt, but nothing too much. Salt is not a spice. It's meant to pull out and open your palate to flavors. I've got olive oil and a fair bit of olive oil. And then I've got lemon. I'm going to use the hand strainer that we have built in, just to catch the seeds. That's about half a lemon. And I'm just going to stir that around just with my fingers again, just to make sure everything's melding together well. And then I'm going to put a little bit of chopped parsley. Okay, just a little coarse chopping of parsley. And then we're just going to let this sit. And the key is that it sits at room temperature, and that's just going to allow it to just kind of cook in its own juices. All that salt's going to bring out all the sweetness in the fennel, and that'll just lightly break down. Okay, so we're just going to set that aside, and kind of the warmest place we have, which is going to really be easily by the stove.